Hello guys, good afternoon to everyone. Now, I'm reading the Department of Labor and Employment, Philippine Overseas Employment Administration. Standard employment contract for various skills. This employment contract is executive and entered into by and between A. Employer, which is our company, in the address, and me, employee, Mernafe, Pakatilok Paglinawan, civil status single, passport number 3810483V, and date and place of issue, November 12, 2019, address. And this is my personal of contract. Voluntarily binding themselves to the following terms and conditions. Site of employment JIDA, contract duration 2 years commencing from employee's departure from the point of origin to the site of employment. Number 4, basic salary of 1,500 reals. 5, recording regular working hours maximum of 8 hours per day, 6 days per week. And number 6, overtime. P, for work over regular working hours is 150%. For work designated rest days and holidays as per Saudi labor law. And number 7, leave with full pay. Vacation leave 21 days per year. And sick leave as per Saudi labor law. And we continue reading for this one. Number 8, free transportation to the site of employment, and in the following cases, free return transportation to the port of origin. Expiration of contract, termination for the contract by the employer without just cause, if the employee is unable to continue to work due to work-connected or work-aggravated injury or illness, force majeure. In other case, when the contract of employment is terminated through no fault of the employee. And number 9, pre-food or food allowance of 300 and the free suitable housing. Number 10, free emergency medical and dental services and facilities including medicine. Number 11, workmen's compensation benefits for service-connected illness or injuries or death in accordance with the pertinent laws of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Number 12, in the event of death of the employee during the terms of this agreement, his remains and personal belongings shall be repatriated to the Philippines at the expense of the employer. In case the repatriation of remains is not possible, the same may dispose of the upon prior approval to the employer's next of kin and or of the by the Philippine Embassy Consulate nearest job site. Number 13, the employer shall assess the employee in remitting a percentage of his salary through the proper banking channel or other means authorized by law. And number 14, termination. Neither party may unilaterally cancel the contract except for legal, just, and valid cause. A, termination by employer. The employer may terminate this contract of grounds of closure or cessation of the establishment, undertaking, or due to refreshment or prevent losses by serving a written notice to the employee and at least 1 month before the intended date, therefore, of payment of separations, eliminations be equivalent to 1 month. The employer shall bear the repatriation expenses of the employee. The employer may also terminate their contract to the following causes: serious misconduct, willful obedience, disobedience of employer, lawful order, habitual, neglected. Ito na po yung mga binasa ko, yung ating contract and continue. Of duties, absenteeism, insubordination, revealing secret of establishment, engaging in trade union activities when employee violates customs, traditions, and law of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and in terms of this agreement, the employee shall shoulder the expenses. B. Termination by the employee. The employee may terminate this contract by serving 1 month in advance written notice to the employer. If no notice is served, the employee shall shoulder all the expenses relative to his repatriation back to his point of origin. The employer may not terminate this contract without serving any notice to the employer for any of the following just causes: serious insult by the employer or his representative, inhuman, unbearable treatment accorded the employee by the employer of his representative, commission of the crime, offense by the employer of his representative, and violation of the terms and conditions of the employment contract by the employer or representative. Employer shall pay repatriation expenses back to the Philippines. And letter C, termination due to illness. Either party may terminate contract on the ground of illness, disease, or injury suffered by the employee. The employee shall shoulder the cost of repatriation. 15. Settlement of dispute. All claims and complaints relative to the employment and regulations. In case of the employee contest the decision of the employer, the matter shall be settled amicably when the participation of the labor attached or any authorized representative of the Philippine Embassy Consulate nearest to the site of employment in case of amicable settlement fails. The matter shall be submitted to the competent of the appropriate government body in Saudi Arabia and the option of the complaining party. Number 16. The employee shall observe employees' company rules and abide by the pertinent laws of the Kingdom of the Saudi Arabia and respect its custom and traditions. 17. In case of employee is required by the employer of the perform cross border assigned in whatever capacity, he shall be covered by work hazard premium fee, which shall not be lower of 100% of the basic salary, and an additional insurance covered by the amount of not less than 35,000 US dollar percentage. So that was our contract. And number 18. In the event of the accident, fortuitous event, or acts of the violence or terrorism, and the other similar circumstances causes the discontinuance or non-performance of the duties in the areas outside the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the employee shall be entitled to indemnity pay equivalent to 1 month basic salary, cost of repatriation to the point of hire, in addition to all accrued wage and other benefits. Number 19. In the case of drivers and other personnel where the discontinuance and non-performance duties in the area outside of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia by the acts of the violence of terrorism and where their safety endangered, they shall no longer be required to physically turn over their vehicles or equipment as a condition of full entitlement the accrued wages and benefits. Number 20. Applicable law. Other terms and conditions of the employment which not consistent with the above provisions shall be governed by the pertinent laws of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So that is. And the addendum to the contract. The following provisions shall form part of the employment contract. 1. The employer shall pay the employees a residence, work permit, exit, and re-entry visa fees, such as other fees defined as Article 3 of the Loyal Decree number M8 dated 25/7/1415 hours. Number 2. In case of resignment to another position, there should be no reduction in salary but with a corresponding increase in rate of new position of the higher classification. Number 3. The Filipino driver shall be covered by personal accident insurance by the vehicles they drive to be covered by the comprehensive, including their third-party liability insurance. And number 4, the insurance coverage so mentioned, including the application for driver's license, shall be facilitated and corresponding provision fees shall be paid by the employer. And number 5, meantime that the drivers are still securing their license, their salaries and other allowances shall continuously be given to them from the time of the arrival of the job site. In witness whereof, we hereby sign by the contract this day, 12 month of 10 year 2015. Signature employee, ako po yon. Yung ating contract ay finish ko na pong nabasa. So, sa mga coming mga new workers, you have to secure your contract paper and you hide it because this is your personal paper. So you have to finish. Also an overseas employment certificate from the Philippines. So that was our contract. And my agency before is R. Joyce Entertainment. So thank you and good afternoon.